So, on today's TDC Talks episode, we have Jasmine here with us, who I have met through a group, and I'm so excited to dive into what she's doing with her brand and with this amazing product that she has developed. Jasmine, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks. How about you?
Awesome, thank you. So, I have a dice here with me, and depending on what number it falls on, we're going to ask you a question. If it falls on number one, we're going to ask you what inspired you to create your brand. If it falls on number two, we're going to ask you what's the story behind your product. Number three, the best experience you've had so far with your brand. Number four, the scariest moment you've had while working on your brand. Number five, your aha moment. Or number six, tell us about your product launch. Okay? Do you want to do it or should I do it?
Go ahead. You
Okay,
first.
so I'm going to roll the dice. Let's see what it falls on. Number three. Okay, so what's the best experience you've had so far with your brand?
I kind of have to go back to the beginning, I guess, for this one. When I first started, I was a student entrepreneur and I got into this really amazing program that had business competitions for student entrepreneurs. So I would say that that just really laid the foundation, both for me to grow the business, but also for me to grow in confidence in myself, because I really, like, being an entrepreneur was not really a lifelong aspiration for me. It was something that kind of came along later. So I didn't really think that I could do it. But having these competitions to go through and having the competition aspect of it really helped me be pushed forward, and it also gave me some seed money to invest. And it just boosted my confidence so much, being able to get up and speak in front of people who are investors or local business people who would give me advice, but also, giving me a chance to move on. And it was just a really, really amazing way to start out as an entrepreneur.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us a little bit more about your brand and what are you doing at the moment with it? At what stage are you at the moment?
So my brand is called Smudgies, and my product is a reusable and washable makeup remover wipe that works without water. So it's kind of designed to be a makeup remover tool that can do it all, go anywhere with you. You can use it when you're putting on your makeup throughout the day to touch up things or to take off your makeup at night. So it's a really, really versatile tool. And kind of my goal with it is to give women, makeup tools and beauty tools that will move with them versus always having to stop and kind of make their life revolve more around makeup, whether they make a mistake when they're putting it on or if they feel like their makeup gets smudged throughout the day, which happens all the time because that's just how makeup is. But that shouldn't put a pause on your day. That was kind of my belief behind it. And what I'm doing now is kind of really focusing in on that mission of celebrating who women are and just how much they're doing and their potential and how much they have going on. And that idea that that shouldn't stop for makeup. Makeup should be serving them in that. And so I've kind of launched this new component of my business this spring, where I ask women to share their stories with me and I post them on Instagram. And it just kind of gives a reminder that everyone is on this journey and that there's always growth involved in it. And that's been a really cool thing to do, especially as COVID has been happening and everyone is in quarantine. I've really liked that opportunity to connect people and inspire people and just share really authentic stories, because, everyone is stuck at home and kind of wishing that they had more people to connect with and their friends around and stuff. So that's been a really great experience.
Awesome. So I see that you actually are creating a movement behind the product, which is
Yeah.
something super, super important at the moment because you have a motive to sell to the end customer. So it's super interesting because you're already working on it, and that's a key piece to many brands that they have the product, they have the e-com store, they have all the pieces, but they actually liking the voice and the motive of pushing the brand. So it's super, super great that you're already working on that. So let me ask you, what's the current stage of your business? So if you had to say, I'm in a startup phase, I'm scaling, I'm actually a really mature brand now. So where are you in the journey at the moment?
I'm like a little bit past startup phase. Like I have the product, I have it being produced, but I am not quite to the scaling phase yet. I actually have a new round of products coming in next week, so I'm really, really excited about that. I kind of did a whole rebranding last summer where I got a new logo and got a new website and was really trying to like think through where I wanted to go with the brand. It kind of started as like a high school project and got some momentum and then faded as I was in college. And so it's been a lot of me kind of working through what my vision is for the brand. But since doing that rebranding last summer, now I'm finally getting all the products in place and everything, working with the manufacturers and of course the delays with COVID and everything. It's been a really long process and definitely a test in patience. But as I'm getting these new products in, I'm really excited to kind of move towards that scaling phase.
Awesome.
That's so exciting, and I can just imagine how excited you are to receive a whole new, a whole new design with your new logo. That's honestly an amazing point to be at. And I feel like it's something that every brand goes through, that rebranding phase, because just like as humans evolve and as we grow and mature, so do our brands. So that's something that happens constantly. And you being at that stage is just an indication that you're moving forward and that your brand is increasing just as well. So that's super, super excited. So where do you see your brand, let's say, in short-term goals? What are some goals that you would say you have for your brand at this moment?
So I really want to try and connect with more people through like Instagram and more of the social media platforms and just really create that image around the idea that like the imperfection is okay, basically, whether you are running around and your makeup gets messed up or it's other things going on in your life. So I'm trying to like connect more personally with my audience. I would say that's kind of one of my biggest short-term goals, is to really let my audience feel like they know who I am and like they recognize me behind my brand as a real person. So I am trying to do more makeup tutorials, which I was afraid to do originally because I was like, I don't even wear that much makeup. I'm not a makeup artist. Like, what if I'm doing it wrong or something? But then kind of realizing that that's like the whole point and that everyone does their makeup differently. So that's like what I want to do with my brand this summer and kind of working on rounding out that just like persona of it's okay to like be who you are.
I love that. And I think that we can talk later on when we dive into strategy, because it goes hand in hand with your personal brand and also building your brand's audience. So I think that's going to be an amazing topic to touch on. Who would you say is your perfect ideal customer? So I know all of us girls wear makeup, but who would you say is your targeted customer?
So I feel like my ideal customer is, which is funny because it took me so long to realize that I had to like actually narrow it down, because originally I just thought, well, like every woman wears makeup, like my target is everyone. And then I realized that wasn't going to get me anywhere. So I think that my ideal customer is like young women, probably like a few years out of college, maybe working early in their career, like the women who are just like hustling all the time, they want to move forward in their career, but they're also trying to have a social life. And like, I feel like women right now, it's said a lot, women are kind of expected to do it all and they're always juggling everything. But I feel like young women, especially like the millennials who are trying to build their career, also trying to keep up with their friends, maybe trying to build a family, and who just like, they don't want to put their life on hold for makeup or anything else. Like they're very goal oriented. So those are the kind of people that I think that the Smudgies messaging will really resonate with, because they're trying to like be themselves and they're still growing into themselves. Like they haven't really reached that point of like knowing who they are and exactly what they want to do, but they just know that they want to like move forward.
Love that.
Awesome, awesome. So now that you found your client, your ideal client, so where do the majority of your new clients come from? So now that you know them, what are you using to reach them at the moment?
I'm mostly using Instagram and then Facebook to reach people.
Okay.
Right now, yeah.
So are you using also pay media, some Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or everything is coming from organic traffic like YouTube search and all of that?
Right now it's all organic. Yeah, I haven't gone into the paid Facebook ads and everything. That's something that I would kind of like to move forward with, but right now it's all organic.
Awesome, awesome. So now that we know that we can go to the strategy phase, which is the place where we actually tell you every single, aspect that you can improve, and also you can take that, as something actionable that you can use, because it's some people talk about marketing super general, like, yes, you have to find your ideal customer or whatever, but we also try to be super detailed on any advice we put out, so people can go hands-on and be able to implement it. Oh, I heard this, I do it this way, I have these tools, so I should implement it, you know what I mean? So maybe Laura can start regarding that aspect, and then I can come in with the pay media part that you can learn about Facebook ads and all of that.
So let me just ask you, what is the specific price for one of your smudgies? How much do you usually sell it for?
So smudgies retail at $10 on my website.
Awesome. And that's for one, or is it a pack?
That's for one.
Okay. And then do you have like a package bundle?
I do not currently. I was doing like a 3-pack for a while, but it didn't seem to really take off. So I kind of switched back to just doing the single ones.
So the reason why I'm asking is because it really goes hand in hand to your audience. So when you're mentioning your audience is more towards a younger crowd, maybe females that have just graduated, that are on their way to finding their job. So we do have to tie that into the pricing strategy and the way we market it. So your pricing, I think it's perfect for that audience, but I would work on doing something in order to raise the price per sale. So let's say if they buy one, what can they add on as an upsell when they're checking out so that your ending profit rises and they get something that they could also use with that. Maybe it's a little baggie where they can put their smudgy away or carry it with them. Maybe it's a little mirror that can be something to go, something travel size, something that we're really thinking about specifically that female that's on the go, that has a little bag, maybe a backpack with their laptop, they're working, they're juggling, social life, work life, all these different things. And we really have to think about that specific female, what we can offer her that ties in with the whole makeup and the whole on-the-go beauty aspect that she can add on when she's purchasing. That's something that I would look at in specific with your shopping processing.
Exactly. So on the pricing strategy, as Laura said, this concept is called average order value. So when you drive people to your website, to your e-commerce store, they join and they see the process and they end up buying. So the question is, at some point you'll be able to run Facebook ads, right? Or Instagram ads, Google ads. So you have to pay for these ads. So in order to be able to afford paying ads, you need to price your product with a 3X strategy, which is the first X is the advertising cost. The second X is basically the product cost, the cost of goods sold, the thing that you pay to your suppliers. And the third X is actually the profit that you get from it. So when you price it, you make sure that, okay, so my product costs around $3 to $5 to produce from my supplier. Okay, then I have to multiply that around 3X, so times 3, and then that's my potential product price. But after you run your first Facebook and Instagram ads, you will know what's your return on ad spend, which is a number that tells you, okay, so every time I put like $3 into ads, I'm gonna sell one single unit. So it's super easy for you to know, okay, so I'll need to put X amount of dollars in order to sell X amount of units. So you can actually calculate exactly how much it's going to cost the investment in order to get X amount of dollars in return. So I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but when you see it in numbers and you understand what's coming in, what's going out and what's coming in, it's super easy for you. So everything starts from the pricing aspect. Right now, at the moment, it's working fine, and it will continually to work as long as you do organic reach, like people get into your page due to hashtags and maybe word of mouth and all of that. But at some point, when you start scaling, you will need to think about pricing in a sense of to be able to afford for the Facebook ads and Instagram ads. So that's regarding pricing. So the idea of upsells is then when they finish the purchase at the end, then if you sell them like a little bag or a mirror or whatever you're trying to sell, then whatever profit you get from it is actually pure profit because you already paid the advertising cost with the main product. So then if you do an upsell for $15, $5 or $10, that's completely pure profit. So that's why you always need to find that product that goes along well with your main product because that's going to help you bump the price of your average order. So that's going to be a super useful tool. So not to do it right now, but start thinking, okay, what should I put into the order? Something that they will be super excited to pair with, you know what I mean? Or if you don't have it at the moment, you can even offer the same product as a one-time offer. So you can do, for example, the same product, instead of $10, you can offer the product for $7. So they end up buying $17 worth of product instead of 10 because they feel like, oh, I got a deal. So at the end of the page, you raised the final price, okay?
And something that is a super useful tool that I saw that on your website you are using Shopify. So if you automatically integrate your catalog through Facebook, you can also have the shopping feature straight from Instagram. And I don't know if you heard, but recently, I think it was last week that Instagram released this new feature called Facebook Shops. And you can shop directly from Instagram without actually leaving the platform and going to your website. So it's super amazing because let's say somebody has bad internet or something and your page is taking a while to load, or if something is off, you just want to make sure that if a customer is interested, they can just with one click already check out. And the most exciting integration with that is that customers can also save their credit card on file. So it's literally one click and that's it. So that's another feature that I would look into. And it's super easy. If you just connect your catalog, you can go to business.facebook.com if you already have a business manager account on Facebook, and you'll just integrate that in.
Exactly. And if you're using Shopify, it's super easy for you to integrate the upsell thing we just told you. So there is an app called Post Purchase Checkout Upsell. So what you're going to do is integrate that app to your store, and then right now you can offer the same product. So they end up paying, let's say they finish the process, the checkout process, and they get the information. And then in that page, this app will put a special deal. So this special deal will be the same product that you're selling for a special discount. You can put summer discount or, weekend, whatever. Find something clever to say in that simple sentence. And then they can buy another unit for, let's say, $8, $7, and they get like an extra bump. And then you raise your average order value and you end up with more profit at the end. So this is a free app that you can download to your Shopify store, and it's going to help you increase this average order value, okay?
That's awesome. Thanks.
Awesome, yeah.
And then lastly, the last thing that I just wanted to touch on, because you did mention that you want to do something and that your goal is really to build that strong audience for Smudgies to have. So one recommendation that I would always tell you to do is to work on your personal brand. So your personal brand will fuel the Smudgies audience. And not only that, but in the future, let's say if you want to open up a new business, or if you want to do whatever you end up doing through life, having a personal brand and an audience that truly feels related to you, that audience will follow you through whatever you do. I don't know if you know who Gary Vee is, but anything he does, I promise you, people are going to be behind it, whether it's wine, shoes, books, whatever it may be. So work on your personal brand, work on the content that you're putting out, and take into advantage the fact that you are young, you're a student, and you're also an entrepreneur. I feel like there's so many people who you can connect with, colleagues, students, your friends, and they can literally learn so much from you because you're so far ahead on this process and on this entrepreneurship journey. So really take that advantage and start posting what you've learned, what your journey has been, the ups and the downs that you've had, because I'm sure you know that entrepreneurship is not that roller coaster ride that's only going up. It goes up and downhill with loops and everything. So if you could share that and if you can be super authentic about your journey, then I promise you that your personal brand will grow and people will relate to you and follow you to whatever you do. And then that slowly will start to fill up the Smudgies bucket because people know who you are, they trust you, so they'll always trust your brands.
Exactly. So it's a combination of...
That's great advice, thank you.
Yeah, it's a combination of paid advertisement with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, and your personal brand, which is what's working right now. It's people that know you, people that, share the page. So this is the organic traffic that you really want. In order to achieve this is by growing your personal brand. And you have something super cool that you already started making YouTube videos and makeup videos, and you are in the right track because it takes time to build a personal brand. As you know, posting one video is not enough. So you are always, if you keep it constant for a long period of time, you will see the return from that. And what comes after that is not being to spend a lot of money on Facebook ads because you already have the people, the loyal following that are going to purchase from you. So this is super important. So the first piece of advice that we have for you is to create a content calendar. This is super important because you have many things going on your life at the moment. You have school, you have family, friends, social life. So if you create a content calendar that says, whatever happens, every Friday at 6 p.m., there is going to be one YouTube video on my YouTube channel about makeup. And whatever happens at 6 p.m. every single day, there is going to be one post about me on my personal account and my business account. So then you can plan ahead and look for tools that can help you make this possible. So try to plan a strategy behind your personal and business brand so then you can leverage that and use it in a few years. Okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome. So Laura has so many tools that she can recommend you about strategy and scheduling the content. And there are so many things that you can actually repurpose the content because that's the end goal. The end goal is not for you to go crazy like, oh my God, I need to post today. What should I post? The end goal is to be able to be a super smooth process and easy process to be able to create content and find that valuable content. So Laura has so many topics that she can teach you regarding that.
Yeah, definitely. Like you were asking me, so why did we start a podcast? Well, really, we bulk create content in order to have content to roll out for weeks, for months on an end. So we sit down and let's say, even for my personal brand, I'll think of different things that I want to talk about and I'll sit down one afternoon and plan it for the week. So I don't have to daily think about what am I going to put, what picture am I going to go out and shoot, So do that. Plan a week, plan one day that you can actually sit down and plan the content for your business and for your personal brand. And I use platforms like Sked Social or Buffer. They're both amazing and it really depends on what accounts you want to manage. If you also have a LinkedIn account, then you might want to use Sked Social, but Buffer is also an amazing tool that schedules out your posts, and you can also do your hashtags. Just make sure that you're always still going on the platform to interact with everyone. And then for hashtags, we use Hashtastic, which is awesome tool to plan different templates and to see what hashtag is going to bring us the most audience. So those are a couple tools that I can share with you hands-on. And then we do have more recommendations. If you're interested, you can always look on our YouTube channel or just send us a message on whatever you need specific help with for your content.
And also regarding the ad side, so at the moment when you decide to start running ads for your own business and even your personal brand, we have a full training, 2-hour training, where I'm literally sitting down teaching you step by step how to run ads for e-commerce store product-based companies. The way that you actually don't burn the money, because it's super easy to just put $100 and that's it, bye-bye. So here I'm gonna take you from start to finish on how to do a successful campaign on Facebook and Instagram. So it's super, super crucial.
And it's free. The training is free.
So whenever you're ready, just log in and hit play. It's like 2 hours. You separate 2 hours from your calendar. It's like a master class, like sitting down in the university, just watching, learning how to do equations, the same thing. Like from start to finish, you're gonna have a step-by-step, everything you need to start running your Facebook and Instagram ads, okay?
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome.
Is there any other question, any marketing question that you would say pops up in your head that we can answer for you?
What do you think about like curating posts for the different platforms, like for Instagram versus Facebook? I guess those are the two that I use mainly, but like, do you think that brands should really create different posts for each of those platforms, or like kind of use some of the apps that will just post the same thing to all the different platforms at once?
So if you're going to curate the content, make sure you're doing at least 3 to 5 posts per day. So what I mean by this is don't make your account to be so generic in a sense that you don't cultivate your actual audience, because people will notice. So make these curated posts to be a support of your main content. So the way we do it on any of our clients is we create content around entertainment, education, and then selling. We are not actually always, reposting or only selling. We're actually teaching people. So your YouTube video teaching makeup, we will reuse that. We crop the video in 30 seconds, 1 minute chunks. We put a title that catches the people's attention, and then we reuse it and repurpose the content depending on the platform. So if you are talking about IG, maybe you have a different strategy. And then if you jump into TikTok, you have a different crowd, a different audiences. So whenever you speak about a younger crowd, you know that you can repurpose that content inside TikTok, for example. If you decide to actually like retweet, another post from another account, you can use hashtag to find the best performing posts in your niche. So this is super huge because you can put makeup and then you can find like thousands of posts that are going like super viral at the moment. So you can reuse them and repost it. But don't make your account to be just a reposting account, because then your audience will notice. So try to mix, like every 5 posts, you can repost one, just make a comment like, look, our team really find this funny. Maybe this is a makeup fact or whatever. So make sure you mix and match. Don't be super straightforward, and the more different you are and the more content you put out that's different from education, entertainment, and selling, the more chances you have to grow an audience. So that's the advice regarding that.
That was really helpful. Thank you.
Awesome, Jasmine. So if anybody listening or watching wants to find you and your brand on social media, wants to purchase a smudgy, where can we find you?
So I'm on Instagram at _smudgies, or my website is smudgies.com. Those are probably the best places to find me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope we were able to give you some practical tips for your brand. It was a pleasure speaking to you, a pleasure meeting you, and I wish you the best of luck for your brand, for Smudgies, and for any personal things that come up through your life, okay?
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.